queridísima Karen Vale. Welcome. We're so happy you're here with us.
Thank you for having me here.
We are so happy to have you here, really.
Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Pero,
what an honor.
Por supuesto, el honor es todo nuestro que haya aceptado venir a platicar con nosotros un ratito, porque, bueno, es una mujer que ha estado apoyando DACA desde siempre, es algo que lo quiero subrayar, porque creo que es importante, nos apoya a los latinos, y bueno, yo quiero preguntarle, ¿por qué se está postulando para alcalde? Why you want to be our next mayor?
Because our city is in a crisis. We are in a crisis. You know, I've been in Congress for a while, and I've loved being in Congress, but if your house is on fire, you come home and take care of the family.
Aplauso de pie, espérame, aplauso de pie. I have to clap to that, of course.
We have 40,000 people sleeping on our streets, and you know, the count just came out. Did you see how many Latinos are now homeless? It's really exploded in terms of the numbers. Between black folk and brown folk,
Yes.
74%.
74% de los homeless ahorita son latinos y afroamericanos, no lo puedo creer, el 74%. Lo que está diciendo la congresista es que obviamente si tu casa está en llamas, pues tienes que venir a ayudarla, que se divierte mucho en el Congreso, pero que adora estar en el Congreso, pero que se está dando cuenta que estamos en una crisis y quiere venir a ayudar. Ay, eso me encanta escuchar, la verdad. And why is so important the Latino vote? ¿Por qué es tan importante el voto latino?
Because Latinos make up 50% of Los Angeles.
True.
And everybody is important. But when you have a population that is that large, you have to make sure that they are represented on every aspect of what you do. And that's always been important to me my whole life.
Dice que es muy importante el voto latino porque somos el 50% los que vivimos en Los Ángeles. Wow. Y no, ¿me ibas a ayudar a traducir, José Quintero?
Sí, no, pero pues estás en lo tuyo para que veas. Su inglés y su español están al 100.
Ahí voy, hijo, ahí voy. Pero sí es importante y es algo que ella se ha preocupado siempre, todo su historial, preocupada por los inmigrantes, preocupada por los latinos y obviamente por eso hace sentido Karen Bass en la ciudad de Los Ángeles totalmente, porque además pues obviamente es de acá. Y platícame sobre tus planes de transporte. Bueno, vamos a empezar con transporte.
Sí.
Porque tengo muchas preguntas. All transports, please let us know.
What are your plans?
Yes.
For transportation.
Transport. Sé qué tal mi English,
Sí.
te digo.
Let me just tell you something. I was born and raised in LA, and we've been building public transportation my whole life.
Yes.
Maybe one of these days we'll have a city that's like New York where you can get anywhere and everywhere on public transportation, but we're not there just yet. So I want to make sure that all of those plans for public transportation actually get built. But more important than that, Latinos, African Americans, Asians, we need those jobs.
Yes.
So you know what I did in D.C.?
What?
I was able to pass a law that says people who live in the area where the transportation projects are going need to have priority on the jobs. And where do the transportation projects go through? Latino communities.
Claro.
People should have priority with those jobs. But you know what? Prior to that law, you couldn't do that. That was illegal for federal money to prioritize people that live in the neighborhood where the projects are.
Ay, qué locura.
That's crazy.
Qué locura. Está diciendo que ella pasó una ley ahora en Washington en donde si están haciendo transporte público, pues la gente que vive en esas colonias donde se está haciendo el transporte público pueden tener primeros lugares para obtener esos trabajos y ayudar a que se completen estas obras. Porque antes era ilegal, nos cuenta que antes era ilegal que las personas que vivían en esa área donde se está haciendo un nuevo transporte público trabajaran ahí y ella lo acaba de cambiar. Eso está espectacular porque obviamente los latinos, imagínate cuántos trabajos podemos agarrar si están haciendo un metro, si están haciendo vías para los autobuses. ¿Cuánto trabajo no podemos agarrar los latinos ahí? That's so important.
Exactly. But you know what? In addition to the jobs, we need to have small business opportunities as well.
True.
So if we think about climate change, all those jobs that is going to be needed in order to improve our climate, like greening buildings, those are opportunities for small businesses that would be run by Latinos. And to me, in my administration, I'm going to have a deputy mayor for small business that's going to go in the Latino community and say, these are business opportunities, not just jobs, but business opportunities.
Ay, yo la adoro. Dice que es que se oye espectacular, la verdad. Son como sueños, como que podemos llegar a cumplir nuestros sueños si Karen Bass queda como alcaldesa, porque imagínate, no nada más la oportunidad de trabajar, no nada más los trabajos, sino que ella va a nombrar a alguien especial para que vaya con los latinos a decir, señores, estas son oportunidades de trabajo, de negocios, para que ustedes pongan su propio negocio. En cuestión de ahora con el cambio de clima, que está canijo, ¿cuántos trabajos no van a estar cambiando y vamos a necesitar más oportunidades? Bueno, pues ella va a tener a alguien especial que vaya con nosotros los latinos y nos diga, este puede ser tu negocio pequeño, a esto te puedes dedicar y puedes ganar tu lana y puedes vivir feliz. Ahora sí que el sueño americano total.
Yeah, the
That is
American
amazing.
dream. The American
Exactly.
dream that we're hoping for.
Yes.
Exactly
And what
right.
are we going to do about the gas? All the prices.
We need more electric vehicles.
Yes!
That's what we need.
Hablando.
We need to figure out how to make those vehicles affordable for our folks.
And free
That-
charging
yes.
stations.
Exactly. But you know what? That's another job opportunity, and that's another small business opportunity.
It is.
Because they don't have EV stations in our communities.
They
Not
don't.
many.
Cierto.
Not many. Building some in East LA, but there needs to be a lot more throughout the Latino community. So that's a small business opportunity and a job opportunity.
Dice que le acabo de preguntar qué vamos a hacer con la gasolina, porque cada día cuesta más y dice, necesitamos pues que estén más coches eléctricos y obviamente al poner más coches eléctricos vamos a necesitar más lugares donde podamos recargar nuestros coches eléctricos, que hay algunos, dicen ley, pero que hacen falta muchísimo más, y ahí es de donde salen todos los trabajos y todas las oportunidades de negocio para los latinos. Está espectacular, ¿eh? I love your plan.
Gracias.
No, la verdad está espectacular. Ay, y yo quiero que nos platique un poco de su historia personal, de your personal history, and I mean, you already told me why you want to be mayor of LA, pero un poquito más sobre su historia personal, I would love to know.
Well, I was born and raised in Los Angeles, lifelong Angelino, and I grew up during turbulent times when there were mass movements happening everywhere.
Of
You
course.
remember the Chicano walkouts?
Oh, yeah.
Before your time.
Yeah, well, but I remember because I learned in books in school. But yes.
So when there were the Chicano walkouts over here in East LA,
Yes.
I was over on the west side and in South LA, and we were protesting on different issues. And so when I was growing up, we used to have citywide actions, and they would be citywide actions supporting immigrant rights or supporting police reform. And so we would come together. South LA and East LA would come together. So that's how I grew up. It was always what we didn't call it multiculturalism. We called it third world unity. People of color joining together. Because if you do the math, when we come together, we're the majority.
We are.
Es que, por supuesto, tiene tanta razón. Creo que esta parte de unión es la que más me emociona, porque tenemos que estar unidos. Together we can do amazing things. And like you say, if we're together, we're the majority. Eso es algo que no nos hemos puesto a pensar. Y la verdad es que unidos podemos lograr tantas cosas y tantos sueños. Por eso me cae bien Karen Bass, señoras y señores. Por eso me gusta tenerla aquí. Y además que es un día muy especial para tenerla aquí.
See, it's a very special day to have you on our show.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Sí,
you. I
porque
appreciate that.
hoy es su cumpleaños. ¡Aplauso de pie! ¡Happy birthday! It's my brother's birthday too.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
So
good.
I can tell you're very special.
Well, wish him happy birthday.
I already did, but yes, we brought a little cake for you.
You brought me a cake.
Yes,
How
we
sweet
did.
is that?
It's a very Latino cake because a tres leches
Tres
cake.
leches.
Yes.
Me gustó mucho tres leches.
¡Ay, qué divina!
Have you ever had tres leches before?
Muchas veces.
Muchas veces y creció aquí en LA
Pues
y no
sí.
estás oyendo.
I had to ask.
Pero no estás oyendo que creció en LA, pues imagínate. Y además que siempre preocupada por la gente y siempre preocupada por ayudar a la comunidad, no solamente a la comunidad afroamericana, sino también a los latinos, porque como bien lo dice, juntos podemos lograr
conjuntos.
maravillas.
Conjuntos siempre.
Yes, that is so true. ¿Alguna preguntita, mi querido José Quintero?
No, I mean, you just basically said everything that I wanted to know. The gas, the transportation, job creations. I definitely want small businesses. Definitely for
Safety.
Safety. Uy, sí.
Safety.
Porque safety es ahorita...
Es muy importante.
Yes. Ahorita hay tantas cosas que estamos viendo que... Hay gente que it's afraid to go and eat in a restaurant because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
They can follow you. They can do a lot of stuff. What are we going to do about that?
So first of all, in some neighborhoods, people want to see more police officers, right?
Cierto.
So the way you get more police officers is get them from behind the desk. There's hundreds of officers that are doing administrative duty.
Claro.
Put them on the street.
Claro.
We need to hire officers, but you know what? LAPD is having a hard time hiring officers. 40 officers, 40 recruits can be in a class. They can't hire more than 20. So while we need to have officers on the street in those neighborhoods, we need to double down and triple down on community programs to prevent crime.
Yes.
Because we know how to do this. But a lot of those programs closed during the pandemic. And to me, that's one of the reasons why you've seen an increase in crime. We need more programs like Homeboy. You know Homeboy Industries.
Sí, claro.
Homeboy Industries, great program.
I love it, yes. Dice que necesitamos más programas que desgraciadamente cerraron con la pandemia y ella cree que por eso es que la seguridad pues se debilitó en en estos últimos años porque los programas tuvieron que cerrar y que quiere poner más policías en distintas colonias que realmente lo merecen y lo necesitan. Que hay muchos policías haciendo el trabajo de computer, hijo.
De oficina.
De oficina, el trabajo de oficina, en lugar de estar en las calles.
Sí.
Hoy esta mujer tiene respuesta para todo. I love her.
Yo sí tenía una pregunta. I do have a question because I know you've worked a lot with Chila, the undocumented community, and we are a sanctuary state.
Yeah,
well,
and state.
And
That's
state.
Right. That's
and
right.
then obviously Gavin Newsom just allowed immigrants to get, I think, a California ID, right? Will we see California move into like a more, I don't know, path to citizenship just because we are very progressive in that sense?
I wish we could, but that's federal.
Yeah.
So, you know, in Washington, D.C., I was one of the 5 leaders on immigration reform. So it's something that I've supported for years and years. And Chirla, that was back in the 80s when Chirla first started, when the refugees from Central America were coming. That was what we had large citywide protests for, too, to protect the refugees when they were coming into town, fleeing the wars in Central America. So Chirla and Caressa, those are organizations I worked with from the time they were started.
Ah, okay. Pues,
bueno, pero espérate, dale chance.
Sí.
Apenas va para la alcaldía.
Sí.
Dale chance. Luego se nos vuelve gobernadora, luego presidenta y ya puede hacer lo que
maybe
quiera.
president one day, so then we'll ask you again.
Just give her time.
Oye.
Then we would have immigration reform,
Exactly.
comprehensive immigration reform.
Yes. Eso es música para mis oídos y creo que para toda la gente que nos está escuchando. ¿Tienes otra preguntita?
Tengo una pregunta que me llegó en las redes sociales, so we did ask people on social media to go ahead and send their questions. And there's Charlene. She wants to know, what do you think about the shutdowns we had and masking our children's impacting their learning and development? Is one. And then what are we going...
ya estás preguntando mucho.
Dale. Okay, so we'll start with that one.
Well, you know, the Latino community was disproportionately impacted by COVID and died because so many Latinos were essential workers. So what we did in Congress, the Black Caucus, Latino, Asian, and Native American caucuses, we all joined forces and we fought for lots of extra resources targeting our communities because we knew we were going to be hit. So our people have to be protected because we were dying.
Sí.
But now our kids have been out of school so long, we need to come up with ways to catch them up.
Sí.
Because if mom and dad were working 3 jobs and they had to go to work and the kids were at home, they've lost that. And we need to get that back. So they can catch up.
Necesitamos adelantar a nuestros niños y hacerlo. Y me imagino que esta mujer debe tener su plan para hacerlo porque tiene plan para absolutamente todo. And that's why I like her.
Sí.
You know, I used to work in hospitals in East LA.
Oh,
I worked at hospitals in Boyle Heights. I worked at County General Hospital for many years.
Señora de la comunidad.
Señora de la comunidad,
Sí.
sí, claro, y Angelina, y que sabe los problemas, y que conoce los problemas porque los ha visto desde toda la vida y ha estado ahí, presente, o sea, no le van a venir a contar lo que somos LA, no pueden venir a inventárselo porque lo conoce. You know LA perfectly because you've been there, and you know us, and you know our our defectos.
Sí, our defects.
Es que luego cuando son en inglés se me salen medio raras, hijo, cuando son muy parecidas al inglés y al español. Pero sí, sabe nuestros defectos, nuestras virtudes y qué mejor para podernos ayudar.
Sí. Oye, última preguntita porque se nos va el tiempo. There's another question that Charlene asked. What are we going to do about the current growth of drug overdoses, especially in the youth?
Yes.
Because we've seen that in our community en Los Ángeles, las drogas en las manos de nuestros niños.
Cierto.
You know, that broke my heart. That girl that died and the ones that almost did.
Yes.
And you know what? We have real serious mental health issues with our young people. They're depressed, they're demoralized, and this was happening before the pandemic, and it's worse now. So we need to have mental health programs in the schools, but the kind of programs I like are peer-based programs where teens are taught how to watch out for each other. And if you know a teen is getting ready to use drugs, you need to be able to not get that person in trouble,
That buddy system.
but get that person help.
Yes.
That's the way to do that.
¡Wow! ¡Qué maravilla! Me encantó, es cierto. Como el programa que puedes ayudar a tu amigo, no meterlo en problemas, pero si sabes que va a tomar droga o que lo va a probar y que ya está ahí, no es meterlo en problemas, sino ayudarlo para que no caiga en las adicciones. ¡Wow! Eso
I
está
talked to the
espectacular.
new superintendent about that and told him that if I'm mayor, I wanted to work with him on that, help him with that.
Ay, eso está sensacional. I have 2 kids. They go to school every day. And yes, I try to give them information as much as I can so they stay away of everything. But yes, we need that.
That's right.
I think they're going to listen more. Well, they're 10 and 8. They're young.
Right.
But in
Soon.
3 years,
That's
they're going to
right.
listen more to their friends than myself.
That's
that
right.
I know. I was there. I remember. Ay, no me resta más que desearle un feliz cumpleaños maravilloso, happy birthday,
Thank you.
y agradecerle de todo corazón que viniera a hablar con nuestra comunidad, porque necesitamos escucharlos de primera voz y necesitamos conocerlos para poder salir a votar y de verdad muchas gracias. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. And I heard about your mother.
Oh,
Angelica
María, yes.
She
Esa es
has
mi
an
mami.
estrella.
Yes. And I'm getting
From
mine.
Hollywood. You are?
Yes, I'm getting mine.
Oh,
Yes. Ooh,
congratulations.
I'm going to invite you.
Please invite me. I'd like to be there.
Yes, I would love you to be there. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you for coming. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Ahorita partimos el pastel como
Sí.
debe de ser. And good luck.
Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias. La congresista Karen Vaz con nosotros. Que bueno, vamos a ver cómo se nos pone en nuestras elecciones, pero sí, qué bueno que vino, qué bueno que la escuchamos, qué bueno que la conocimos para que tú puedas hacer tu mejor elección. Nos vamos y continuamos con mucho más. Estás en la Vale Show, en la nueva Cali 93.9. Regreso con algo nuevo que va a hacer que te lleves mucho dinero. Ya regreso, ahorita te platico.